that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments section y'all want to see more. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I'm going to do my WWE Backlash 2024 review. Backlash was in France today, so I'm streaming a little bit early today. Well, since they're in Paris, um, here in America, pay-per-view was on pretty early. It was in the afternoon. The pay-per-view just went off the air. It was 3 hours long. We're gonna go through what happened on the show. I thought it was a great show. Now there are only 5 matches on the show. 5 matches. A very short card, and that's how I like it. I think the matches should be short, based on the storyline and the match that we got on here. I thought it was great. Now the press conference is on right now. We will watch it. I thought every match was great. Cody Rhodes and AJ thought was a fantastic match. It looked like the feud made, but they had a fantastic main event. Damian Priest and Jey Uso match started off slow, but it picked up. The crowd made it interesting. Thought the crowd was awesome today. Um, crowd was singing along to everyone's theme song. Crowd was invested. It was a great match. It seems like they're teasing a Damian Priest babyface turn. We will talk about that pretty soon. We had a great opener with the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, and Tanga defeated Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I thought the match started off great. It went about 20 minutes. Nick Aldis came out, made it a no disqualification, no count out, a 3-fight. And also, I just want you guys to know we have Tanga Loha, Tanga's younger brother. He saved the Bloodline from 3-fight defeat. He came out. A lot of people respected Jacob Fatu. I did. I love how they swerved and how it was a little bit more shocking. We all expected Jacob Fatu, but it was Tanga Loha. Now this is very interesting. The Bloodline looked dominant. We're interested. We can't wait to see what happens on SmackDown this Friday and see what happens next. Now we also did get a backstage segment later on in the show with Jey Uso and the Bloodline. So clearly something good. They are foreshadowing something. We had a great triple threat match with Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany. A very good match. Crowd was invested. Bayley's over. I did like that Tiffany wasn't pinned. She was protected in this match, so clearly she's being booked strong. We could get a match at the King Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. Damian Priest and Jey Uso was a very good match. Like I said, the crowd really saved that match. Wait, what? Alright. Now let's see what's on the press conference. Hold on. For you winning this title here.
I've never been a tag team champion. I've never been a champion here. Yeah. So this, of course, for both of us, experience it together. Got to hold a lot of together. I've got to do a lot of amazing things in my career. In a very short amount of time, I've got to maybe at WrestleMania, I've got to hold both.
Now, my voice show you guys the podcast, dudes. My video is sponsored by Fightful, Post Wrestling, No DQ, Argo.
That indicated that he was leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. I know not everybody loves Gorillas of Destiny, especially if you're a loyal. Yeah, everybody was kind of anticipating the arrival of what do you call it? Of Jacob Fatu, and instead we get Tanga Loa, which was just crazy. And yeah, to Mr. Penguin's point, the Gorillas of Destiny are now both. He's from the last Olympics.
there really doesn't.
I also forgot to mention we do have some news and rumors. I think a few hours ago, um, Gable Steveson was released by WWE. Gable Steveson says here he was released by WWE, and Drew Gulak was also released by WWE, which I'm kind of surprised about. But they weren't really using them. I think he was on NXT a few times. Gable Steveson, he wasn't being used. Last time we saw him, I think he wrestled Baron Corbin at the Great American Bash. That man was shit. But he wasn't being used.
Right? Like, I'm not wrong here, am I?
Yeah, I think they were chanting it.
All right. Just making sure I understood that. All right, well, let's get into some of these super chats and humper chats. Of course, you guys are more than welcome to come support. Get your French on in here. Here we go. Let's bring in, kicking things off with the first super chat from Jonathan Corona, who says, all I'm saying, Americans need to follow European fans, and plus they still have Bash at Berlin and Clash at the Castle. Damn chills. Dude, ain't no way we're gonna follow those crowds. I'm sorry, but we don't have the endurance for that.
I'm from a wrestling city. I'm not taking this all of a sudden because they sing to you guys. Our crowds are not great. Sorry. I ain't hearing this slander. Chicago crowds are always lit. I ain't trying to.
Denise and I have been in some trash crowds over here in the West Coast.
Las Vegas.
We don't have a dog in this fight.
No, I was actually really embarrassed when AEW did Dynamite in Los Angeles, and we were like not reacting to things. And I'm like, God, we're that tired. And then we talked about the Las Vegas crowd for Double or Nothing last year or the year before that. I forgot what year it was. So bad, and that's like kind of embarrassing. You don't want to be in those kinds of crowds. I want to be in like a fun crowd.
Can we get in one of those? It feels like every show we go to, we're tired, it's cold, we're complaining. I'm like, we are just entitled Americans.
Honestly, yeah, we're just entitled, really. We got Call Me Crazy here, who says that crowd was amazing and the matches were great. 10 out of 10 pay-per-view, and it's the only first one in the new era of WWE. I need a WrestleMania in France. We're probably going to be finding out the WrestleMania location probably in the next couple of minutes, since they're going to be announcing it on the Kentucky Derby. Everyone is expecting for it to be Las Vegas. Ooh, and I just said the Las Vegas crowd was bad. Yikes.
That's y'all king? Vegas is y'all king? That's where y'all would have it?
Whoa, that's like around if you announce that. We're going to be there. No, it's going to be different. There's different energy. WrestleMania. All right.
Okay, you know what? For sure. This time we're gonna make sure we're gonna be leading our section. Okay, whatever section we're in, we're gonna make sure to lead it and start the chat. All right.
Cheryl. It's gonna be great.
All right. We got Jonathan Corona here who says, "Don't forget WrestleMania announcement coming." Exactly. We got this one is a little bit off topic, but we might as well get to it now. This is from our Duet, who says, I'm sure Backlash was awesome, but Reg and Phil, you know what this is for. Any thoughts on last night's show?
Buddy,
Or last night's show?
I was just telling Reg the story before we come on that I fell asleep very long day. And so I woke up around midnight and I was like, oh, there's a Drake record. And so I'm listening to the Drake record. He has like the video out with him crushing the Good Kid, Mad City van. Very clever. Some dope lines in there. I was like, oh, okay, we're here. And while I was watching it, I was like, oh, wait, there's a Kendrick record out. And then I was listening to it. I was like, oh, there's a Drake, bro. It's a rap. No, you can't respond to that. When somebody is that diabolical, puts out the 616 record before that, and then zooms out and shows you everything that is apparently from his dad's suitcase. No, you can't mess with it.
When you're listening to a diss track and your jaws just drop, you're just like, what is this? That's like, it has been accomplished. Drake, wrap it up. This isn't it. Unless you got something, next track, you got to go directly at this guy. That's the only way. I've been overwhelmed by hip hop beats, and it's great. It's amazing.
Alright, now, anyway, here's Wrestling Inc. I also forgot to mention that, now, as you guys know, they already announced the masters for King and Queen of the Ring. I think they have like 4 masters each.
So
it may be 8.
You two in here today. What are you looking at? Do you really have that?
Phelps, they feed off that energy big time. and it is infectious, and it's also for the referees. I know we're supposed to be in the background, we're kind of like invisible and doing our job.
Yeah, so
Out. Literally crossed
Oh.
her out, and I was like, oh hell no! And all the Swifties were ready to go.
yeah, so as I said, I can't wait for Monday Night Raw. I will do Monday Night Raw Monday night on Raw, because that will be the first round of the Queen and King of the Ring. They already announced the match, by the way. Gunther, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Dragunov, and Ricochet. And for the woman, Shannon Baszler versus Zelina Vega, Ivy Nile and Zoe Snark, Lyra Valkyrie and Asuka. I think there was another match. I think we have Natalia and someone else. I forgot. But they did announce it during the pay-per-view. So I can't wait. It may be, hopefully it's 16. That's like 8 matches. No, well, actually, no, it's not 8 matches. That's actually 4 matches. Yeah, we have 4 matches. I think we have 4 for the men and 4 for the women in the first round. And SmackDown, I think, will have the same thing: 4 for the men and 4 for the women. Now it can't be 8 because I think it's too much. Now we have to wait and see like how long the tournament. Is it gonna be 8 or 16?
We got a bunch of violence, but the big news coming out of this is that Tonga Loa came back to the WWE and is now, aligned himself on screen, of course, with his family. He's with the bloodline, and everybody was Jacob Fatu, of course, but I don't think people. Right, they're saving him. They're not trying to blow their load yet, Reg. Give them a second. But Tonga, so basically, like, this was a pretty exciting way to kick things off because it started with a lot of energy, and to me, I felt that they were like rewarding the crowd by kicking things off the way that they did because it made it feel like anything can happen on this show. But Phil, we'll start with you. How did you feel about this opening match?
I thought it was great. I was wondering where they were going when they started with the brawl right away. They turned into a street fight. Kevin Owens is amazing. I feel like this is usually where he thrives in this kind of energy with this kind of crowd. Big spots that were fun. We got Tonga Loa popping up that looked a lot like his dad. I don't know if that was just tonight. I was like, boy, this guy looks a lot like Haku.
I love that. Reg, what'd you think?
Denise, I actually want to know your thoughts on this because last time Tonga Loa was here, he was Mexican, and now he's a part of the bloodline. So I want to know how you feel as a Mexican that he's not representing for the culture anymore, and he's not a cholo.
So it's funny because right away I put that out there, and a lot of people did not know that. Like, a lot of people were like, "I learned this today," and so it's really hilarious because, and I kind of battled a little bit with the way that I was going to put that tweet out because I put like, "Oh, I guess he's no longer a cholo," but originally I was going to put, "Is he done being Mexican?" But then I was like, I know people are going to basically say like, "Oh, he was never saying that he was Mexican," but I'm like, bro, you were coming out as a cholo, and you guys had like the Mexican flag and everything. Like, everybody assumed that you were portraying a Mexican. And I thought this was funny as all hell because when you think about it, like, that's what WWE does. Like, they look at someone and they're like, "Oh, you can pass for this. So this is what you're going to be." And we've seen them do this so many times. So, like, part of me, because I'm like, oh, I guess Tonga Loa is done with his Mexican era and he's moving on. He's moving on. He's ditching his roots.
That's what the game is like. We're just supposed to forget about that. And it worked anyways. The only reason like the new people knew is because everybody was like, remember this back then. I thought this was a super hot way to start the show. Getting Kevin Owens in a street fight, that's always works. As soon as they got into the crowd was like, oh my God, I can't believe we're so close to Randy Orton. We're so close to this. We want tables. I usually hate that, but today I was like, bring out the tables. I want to see it. It was like everything that they were.
Oh wait, hold on. I want to see something for a minute. Hold on a second. I want to see something for a minute.
But she doesn't know that nearly half of them have been in an accident. I've only scratched the surface, perhaps, with AJ Styles. I don't know if we'll revisit that, but that's the type of fight I'd love to get into one more time. He left a little ding on my shoulder that perhaps I'd like to return the favor. But there's a lot of folks. I'll tell you one that maybe it's a little strange. Not it's gonna sound strange, but I love man, I could name everybody, but LA Knight is someone that I look at because I get it, you know, oh, they're two good guys. Well, I understand that, but there's a flavor. There's something about it. And it's like I was saying to you, you got that fever. You gotta know. You want to know. No. I'm the man. No, I'm the man. All that just macho, toxic, alpha stuff. And you know, I still have a bit of it, I suppose. But there's so many, and there's probably new faces that we don't even know. And I'm not gonna say his name. He had a birthday the other day, but he returned a gift to me that I did not appreciate. And when that man returns, I'd like to take something from him as well.
You talking about The Rock?
Next question.
Watching the press conference, Cody Rhodes.
Guys, you're getting a lot of is this on? You're getting a lot of love in that section right there.
Go back to Fightful.
Got over there. Now you add GOD to it. Excited to see what they do with those belts. Very pretty looking belts as well.
We got Jonathan Corona here who says, man, oh man, Camacho is back in WWE. My Theo, bro.
My Theo.
My Theo.
Every time you say something about Camacho, I just think of Dave Chappelle saying, trying to find a Mexican. Trying to find a Mexican.
I love it. We got Ryan Lambert here who says this pay-per-view needed House of Torture member Evil.
No, it did not. No. I had to suffer through a New Japan pay-per-view with plenty of House of Torture shenanigans.
Michael Cody getting into his cage match, reading off ratings bags, and I'm not mad at it. I like Michael Cole being like, oh, he's also a 4-time neverweight champion. It's like, all right, that's cool.
I like that because before they did it, they would just like disregard all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just feel like a nerd every time he does that Bullet Club thing. I'm like, Cody was never a leader of Bullet Club. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. He was not the leader.
We got Jared here who says Joaquin Wild isn't Latino either, so it tracks. Yeah, that's another one there too. We just accept it. We're just like, oh, whatever. At this point. At this point, we're taking what we can get, man. All right, we only got so many options. We're taking anyone who's willing to claim it.
Slippery slopes. Slippery slopes.
We got H.X. Caliber here says so Paul knows Ross, the tribal chief of this this bloodline, excuse me. I don't know. Who do you guys acknowledge right now as the tribal chief? What are we thinking here?
It's still wrong. There's part with that big sign up that said not my tribal chief. It's still wrong. I do think it's funny that Solo when recruiting a guy that was on Twitter taking shots at him a few years ago. And every time I see it, I'm like, oh no, Roman might not be happy when he shows back up and sees Tanga there.
What did you guys feel about afterwards, right before Jay's match? They did that little Jay acknowledging him because I'm on the side of get Jay back with his brother fast as the sun can move. You know what I mean? But I thought that was a little. They're teasing stuff, right?
They definitely are, and it's one of those things for me that hit the most was when Paul Heyman had that little look. That look said it all. That look said, I know things are not the same. They are not the same from the last time you and I were on the same side. Like, I read so much into what Paul Heyman didn't say, but I felt that he said all of these things just like with his face. Like, dude looks stressed out.
Yeah, my takeaway from it is, dude, what are you doing? That's your spot. You were second in command. If Roman is not here, that's your spot. Why are you letting him do this?
We got Will Chisholm here who says Triple H finally got his wish. He's been trying to get G.O.D. for like 10 years.
A little late, but I'm still interested in the prospect of G.O.D. versus so I think that could be a good match.
That's actually a super chat we got from Jonathan Contreras. It says Tonga Loa with a shock. G.O.D. versus Usos is gonna be great. I agree with Reg. I am ready to see the Usos back together. And that's the thing. And you know what? I'm gonna go into it now. I know we were gonna get into everything in order, but I might as well tie this in because we have the World Heavyweight Championship match with Damian Priest versus Jey Uso. I was watching this match thinking one of two things was going to happen. Part of me, given how like hyped and crazy the crowd was for Jey Uso, it felt like he was having his own personal concert at one point. I thought, like, okay, either Jacob Fatu is going to come in here and cost this match for Jey Uso, and it's going to bring Jey Uso back into this program with the bloodline, or we're actually going to see Jey Uso win here. And I know that would have sucked for Damian Priest, but given just how hot the crowd was for Jey Uso, it just felt like something other than the predictable had to happen. And it didn't. Instead, the predictable happened. And we ended up seeing Damian Priest retain his World Heavyweight Championship. And the only involvement outside interference that we got was from the Judgment Day. So I'll kick things off with Reg. Reg, what'd you think of this match?
I've seen better. No, I knew coming into this show what this match was going to be, and it was this match. Like I said, Jay needs to be back with his brother. He's just not a big match one-on-one wrestler. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm a big fan. I think as a tag team wrestler, incredible, one of the best ever. But as like a big match one-on-one guy, not really feeling it. I thought it was a little bit overbooked with the Judgment Day stuff. I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to tease the split, which is that good? I don't really know if I even think that's good. But I thought this was not even great Raw main event. Damian Priest as World Heavyweight Champion is going to need to pick up some slack and do something extra to make this reign worth something. Because if it's starting like this, I'm worried.
I'm worried too, bro. We haven't even gotten a super chat on this one. Everybody's talking about everything on the show except this match. That should tell you everything. People are like, oh, we don't even care like, what the hell happened in this match. But it was like, I know, like at one point where we thought that Jey Uso had it, right? And Jade McDonough comes in and he puts the leg up for Damian Priest. I was like, oh, this sucks so bad. But like the finish to me felt so flat.
It was flat.
So what'd you think?
My only takeaway from all of this is that I hope this is leading to $10 winning that number. Because other than that, I've been like, all right. Because I don't feel like they've got any like long-term plans for it's not like he did anything wrong coming into this. I thought he was fine in this match. I just don't I don't like how they pace the J matches anymore. It's like, hey, set up for him to do his chance, and you gotta slow walk the dog so you can get these like one punches in so the crowd can get their beat chance in, and it's just like, this is just not. But man, what a cool optic, him coming into the crowd, and everybody's waving their hands, everybody's singing the song, everybody doing the J chants. All of that was dope. Then the match started, and I was like, this is grinding to a halt. One of the biggest pops of the night for me was JD McDonough appearing, and he's like, "Are you serious? What do you mean?" And then and he looks at him, he's like, "What do you mean? What do I mean?"
Where he said like, "Oh, like did he call him like stupid or something?" Or
"What are you doing?"
He made fun of his head, didn't he?
He did something, but yeah, he was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean?" I don't know why that made me laugh so hard, but it was really funny. Good hits.
We got Dream Ninja 77 who says, "Okay, Denise, here's $2 for J being over AF." He was over.
Super
like
over.
we mentioned that entrance, and he came in, and when the part, it's just me. It was I'm like, bro, it really is just you. Look at you have your moment.
It really is just you. It really is just you, Moose. Yo.
But no, for reals, that's how it felt. It was pretty cool to see, man. He was having the concert that like everybody wants to. It felt really great. But there you go. I feel like again, I don't think Damian Priest did anything bad. It just feels like, to me, it doesn't feel like the spotlight as him as champion hasn't been that strong. The light has been very, very dim.
No, I definitely felt like, man, look what they've done to my boy. Like, Rollins did all of this to elevate that belt. Look what they got my brother. Move this thing on. All those people that said that Rollins was a bad champion, tenure your apology.
Luckily for like, I was looking at the matches they announced for like the King of the Ring tomorrow. I'm like, luckily Raw has some pretty strong men contenders to make that championship worth something. But at the moment, it's looking like, ooh.
Yeah. Those matches for the King of the Ring and a Queen of the Ring are looking really good. I mean, they got Ricochet and Ilya Dragunov happening. They got Sheamus and Gunther.
Them boys are gonna fight really hard. Yeah, no, this is a good sign for that tournament that they're putting some prestige on it. Because it feels like when they brought it back before, it's like here damn type thing of like, we'll just put the most random people in the company in there. But this is like, we got the real superstars that you guys want. Gunther is a heavy favorite for this, but he got some tough tests on the first round.
No, the matchups, they look really freaking good. But you know what else is really freaking good? Ladies and gentlemen, Felix.
I'm traveling. The thing I miss the most.
Got Domino's rewards points?
Come
so
on.
many different items to choose from. You might even have free Domino's already waiting for you.
The experiences for her.
A sick art. As a sweet bonus, if you sign
One of the
up
loudest
for Wait for
wrestling
the
crowds ever.
You'll also get a 6-month subscription to Paramount Plus.
Line people who
Now, was this match pretty good? Of course it was.
could cause temporary hearing loss. That's how loud it was in that building last night for SmackDown. So you can only imagine how it was in the building for this show here. This was, I'm trying to figure out the best way to even describe what this was. This was by far. Now, we've had over the years a lot of crowds, post-WrestleMania crowds, other international crowds, or even the one last year in Puerto Rico. We had Backlash 1 year ago, right, in San Juan, where you get a really hot crowd. You just have people that are just happy to be there. Maybe they don't get WWE very often. They don't get pay-per-views very often. And so they go there, and these people are out of their fucking minds, and they're doing all kinds of chants and soccer chants and stuff. I cannot recall an event from start to finish for the entirety of the 3 hours where the crowd was as lively and energetic and just out of their minds as this crowd was in Leo. This is by far the loudest crowd that I have ever seen as far as a sustained reaction for any show in WWE history. And I hope that it's not that long before they can revisit and go back and reward them with another show. Because this was incredible. And just think about this. In a little over a month's time, right? We're only about 6 weeks away. WWE is going to be bringing Clash at the Castle to Glasgow in Scotland. So all you Scottish folks out there, you're going to have to up your game, man. They're going to be going there for Clash at the Castle. I'm expecting something very similar, if not better than this, when they go there. But now you know the strategy. Part of the strategy behind these international PLEs that Nick Khan said, we got to bring these events to all these different places all over the world. This is one of the reasons why. Because you end up getting reactions like what we had here for the show, and the atmosphere is just incredible. It's infectious. And what they also announced, and I'm waiting on another very big announcement that has not yet been made as I'm sitting here right now. WWE is going to be announcing very likely the location for WrestleMania 41. It's very likely going to be Las Vegas. They have not made the announcement yet. It is going to take place at some point over on NBC during the pre-show for the Kentucky Derby. So we may have to break in here at some point with some breaking news. You guys will keep me posted on that. But WWE made an announcement tonight during the show that Backlash had the largest gate of any arena show in WWE history. Now that's great for them. That's great for WWE. All right, congratulations. Not so much for the fans, though. I look at it a little bit differently. You have, 12,000 people, I think, somewhere between 12 and 13,000 people in the building tonight, which is a healthy crowd. Not the biggest arena crowd that they've ever had. They put 20,000 plus in buildings before. You had 12,000 people in the building, and you just did your biggest gate. You know how I read that? I read that as you have gouged the fans, and God only knows what the ticket prices were for this show. I would love to know from people who were in attendance tonight in Lyon how much their ticket cost them, especially for like a really good, decent ticket. I can only imagine what these ticket prices must have been if they only now set the gate, the largest gate for an arena show in the, 6 or 7 decades that this company has been in existence. I don't know that that's something I would be gloating about. As a fan, I'm kind of offended by that. But hey, for WWE, congratulations. For them, their business is booming. Now, as far as this show is concerned, 5 matches. That's it.
I thought during the week they were going to add one or two more, and they never did. There were no pre-show matches. It was a 5-match card. It was what I like to call the Triple H special. This is something he did routinely with NXT. He would keep those takeover specials to 5 or 6 matches. He didn't want to overfill them with matches. He wanted existing matches had time. This is a formula that worked out very well for this show. They had the entrances. They had to know coming into it that the crowd was going to be electric. You saw what happened on SmackDown last night. So they let it breathe. And everybody who came out and got a big reaction, the announcers laid out, in some situations, they milked it. They had these great wide shots of the arena showing everybody mind, doing the Jey Uso thing and just everything else. So they had plenty of time for that. The matches had plenty of time. We had a lot of long matches on the show. We had a 30-minute almost main event between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles on the show. So everything had time, and I think it was the right strategy here, even though you look at the card and go, wow, 5 matches. That's not much of a pay-per-view card there. You know what I liked? Other than this show, this was an excellent show. Helped very much so by the crowd. Without this crowd, it's a good show. With this crowd, it's an excellent show. That's the difference that a hot crowd can make. But I'll tell you something I like. It might be a minor thing to some people, but it was something that was very noticeable to me. No LEDs all over ringside. You notice that? There were no LED encasements for the ring posts. There were no LED aprons. There were no LEDs on the barricades. It was just like an old school traditional wrestling ring setup. And I liked it. I didn't have these flashing advertisements and flashing lights in my face for the entire show. It was nice. Some people maybe didn't even notice it. I noticed it. And an excellent match. Almost 30 minutes long. There were no surprises. There were no interference. There was no interference. The lights didn't go out. Even after the match was over, they played it straight. Cody beat him straight up. What that means for Cody going forward is a question mark because they have nobody prepared for him now on the SmackDown roster. Randy Orton would be the most obvious opponent. I don't know that they want to go right into Randy Orton. I'm not sure they want to do that right now. To me, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, if anything, that's a SummerSlam match. That's a WrestleMania match. I don't think they're going to go right into that. That tells me that we have not seen the last of Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, even though AJ got beat straight up. Really no reason to do a rematch, but I think that's exactly what we're going to get. And that would be fine. They have nobody set up for Saudi Arabia in a few weeks, so you may as well milk it and get one more match out of it. As great as this match was tonight, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing it one more time. That's my guess as far as what's next for Cody Rhodes here. But the other big story coming out of this show is that we have a new addition to the bloodline. And it is not the name that most people would have thought coming into this show. The newest addition to the bloodline, not yet anyway, not Jacob Fatu. It is Tanga Loa. Tanga Loa from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Tanga Loa, the brother of Tama Tonga, the son of Haku. He walks out there. Actually, he doesn't walk out there. He came from under the ring, but he's out there at ringside. Helps his brother, helps Solo Sikoa get a win over Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Here's Tanga Loa, who the WWE audience has never seen before. And the only thing I can think of when I'm watching this is, where's the video package? I don't know who he is. How am I supposed to know who this man is if there's no video package? Remember all those debates? All the people say, oh, AEW, all these people on TV, I don't know who they are. How am I supposed to know who they are? Where were all those people tonight? Where are those people? I didn't get the video package here for Tanga Loa. You'll survive. You'll be fine. Instead of laughing at. Yes, Tanga Loa, who nobody had mentioned. There was no news reports about him, nothing from Fightful, nothing from The Observer, nothing from PW Insider, nothing from The Torch, nothing from anywhere. Wrestle Votes. Nobody said a word about this man. I didn't even know what his contract status was. I hadn't even thought about him. And there he was, a nice little swerve there by Triple H, who had to know that people were expecting someone other than him, and then to throw that person in there, slick move there on his part. But he is now part of this new bloodline, and that makes this even more intriguing now going forward, because we still now have to wait and find out when are we going to see Jacob Fatu. He has signed with the company, so we know that. It's a matter of when, and it's a matter now of which side of the bloodline is he going to be on? Is he going to be part of this new crew with Solo and Tanga, or is he going to perhaps be on the other side of the aisle? And maybe we will see Jacob Fatu aligning with Jimmy and Jay when they eventually get back together. He'll be on the same side with Roman Reigns. All of a sudden, it makes this bloodline civil war concept that much more interesting to see which direction they're going to go in. I'm going to talk more about that. I'm going to talk more about this entire show because we also have new women's tag team champions. Oh, by the way, they are Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Probably to the surprise of no one that they would walk out with those titles. And it was not always pretty in that match, let me tell you. We will talk about why that is. But we had other news that was broken. Here during this PLE, we got the brackets for the Raw side. We got the list of matches for the Raw side. Now, these matches are all taking place on Raw this Monday night. This is shaping up to be a loaded show on Monday. We got the Raw side of the bracket for the King of the Ring tournament and the Queen of the Ring tournament. The finals of these tournaments will take place at the end of this month, May 26th or 25th, I believe, in Saudi Arabia. But they are starting the tournament this week on Raw and SmackDown. We are going to find out the SmackDown side of things on Monday. They'll give us the matches for Friday that are coming up. But here are the matches that they already announced coming up on Monday night. On the women's side, in the Queen of the Ring, we have Ivy Nile going one-on-one with Zoe Stark. Yes, indeed, Gareth with the super chat, dropping it on my head here on a Saturday afternoon. What's going on, Gareth? And everybody else dropping super chats. I'm going to get to all you folks. Don't worry about it. I got you covered. Don't worry. We got Ivy Nile one-on-one with Zoe Stark. We got Shayna Baszler going one-on-one with Zelina Vega. We have Lyra Valkyria, the newest addition to the Raw Women's Division, going one-on-one with Asuka. And we have Io Sky going one-on-one with Natalya. Now, if we are to assume that the Raw talent are all going to be on one side and the SmackDown talent will all be on the other side, and if these matches that they listed them in are in bracket order, if we were to visualize it, then we could be looking at tag team partners going toe-to-toe. We could be looking at Zoe Stark one-on-one with Shayna Baszler. And we could be looking also on the other two matches that they announced here. We could potentially be looking at Asuka one-on-one with Io Sky, right? Two members of Damage Control. I think that will likely not be the case. I think it's more likely we end up with Lyra Valkyria going one-on-one with Io Sky in the semifinals. So that is the way that side of the bracket is shaping up right now in the Queen of the Ring. On the men's side, this is what it's looking like. Now, this is what I'm excited. We don't even know all of the people that are in the King of the Ring yet, but just based on what they announced here, I'm licking my chops waiting for TV this week. We have Drew McIntyre. On Monday, he's going to be going one-on-one with Finn Balor. We have Kofi Kingston going one-on-one with Rey Mysterio. We have Ricochet going one-on-one with the newest addition to the Raw roster from NXT, Ilya Dragunov. I wasn't sure if they were going to put Dragunov in this tournament. He is in. That's great news. I want to see him go deep into the tournament. He may just go one more round, but deeper certainly than the first round into this tournament. But the final match that they announced here for the Raw side, Gunther, who already declared. Gunther was the first man to declare for the King of the Ring. He's going to go one-on-one with Sheamus. And when they made the announcement and they put the graphic up on the screen in the building, everybody reacted big. So did I. So did everybody else when they heard this announcement, because that match is going to be fucking fantastic. We get one more Gunther and Sheamus match, even better. If the brackets line up the way that they look, we could potentially have Gunther going one-on-one with Ilya Dragunov in the next round of the King of the Ring. Didn't think we would get to it this quickly. No guarantee it's going to happen, but just the mere possibility that we could get Gunther and Ilya Dragunov in the King of the Ring, sign me the fuck up. Said this last night on the stream. If they give these matches time, on television you never know. You got the commercial breaks that are very they're very intrusive sometimes, but they give these matches time. This has the potential to be one of the best King of the Ring tournaments or tournaments that they have ever done, which would be a far cry from the last few King of the Ring tournaments that we have seen this company do. Give me Gunther and Sheamus, give me Gunther and Dragunov, please, and thank you. That's going to be fucking awesome. So again, we'll find out what the SmackDown matches are going to be on Monday night. This is your WWE Backlash 2024 review. I am the Solid Monster. Like, subscribe, super chats are open. 500 likes. You heard me. 500 is the goal to do Be the Booker. If we can hit 500 likes on this video, we will do that at the very star. Robert, thank you. And the chaos and carnage. I can't think of another one that was as nuts as this one. With this crowd, no less, going crazy for everything these guys were doing. To keep control here, you had referees, you had producers, you had security geeks. They were all running out to try to keep these men apart. We had Owens hitting stunners on. He slammed a chair over Tama's back, and then he set up the chair.
Especially you guys like coming into this, the time that they spent between signing her and actually having her
Deal and a
feelings about this matchup. And I'm just going to be real. I thought that they started off very strongly. The match started off really good. I love seeing, Jade go in there and hit her springboard crossbody. She's in there, trying out. Yeah, it did. The finish was uninspired. This was literally, like you said, something you could have seen on Monday Night Raw.
yes, like there's more creative things that you could use. They did more creative finishes on the show. Like what happened here?
Well, here's an interesting one. This is from Jared, who says, kind of disagree with you all. I like the Damian J match and how Damian was present in the entrance and in the match sold for him, for me, as a champion. Sold him for me as a champion. So he felt that Damian Priest came out of this looking a lot stronger. Do you agree with that?
I think that the match was fine. I don't think that it was great. I think that it did what it was supposed to do to advance the Judgment Day stuff and give Jay a big moment on his card, but nothing really happened in the match that really good.
Right. If I look at the pay-per-view in totality and what they did in the main event, I'm like, that's what a championship match is supposed to look like. I'm like, that does in comparison.
Well, I'll tell you something that definitely hits. And you want to know what that is? That is NordVPN.
buying paper.
At WrestleMania, I wouldn't say that's a bad concept. I just think that they've used
after
it.
that rain. No, coming up to that, it was people were like, "This is the worst
But I
cash
mean-
everybody ever had."
But I think it ended up panning out because it was a good cash in. But I think they've had so many bad cash ins. I can see why people are down with the concept. But it's money in the bank. Like I think she can do good things with it. Like her, like being the first woman to really customize the briefcase and like do something cool with it. I think there's stuff they can.
Oh my God, they're so gonna do a Barbie briefcase, are they not? Like a Barbie like Barbie themed.
Barbie
feel
thing.
like Barb.
Yeah, I think she didn't need the money here. I mean, Bailey hasn't been champion in that long, not even a whole month. Like it's fine. Give her actual reign after this win. We don't have to rush into a Tiffany run. But yeah, I thought the 3D was a great callback. All of those people that have been like, man, why won't they just put her in the bloodline? And for her to throw out the 3D here, it almost felt like her saying, okay, we hear you guys. I'm not going to be in there, but here's a bump. Yeah, so I thought that was dope. There was a bunch of stuff in this match.
You know, you can't keep just making her be the person to take the pinfall all the time. Like she's really grown a lot since she's returned to the company, and I like that it made it look like they were trying to protect her as well. And I didn't feel like that took away from Bailey at all as the champion. So I felt pretty good about the ending as well. We have Dream Ninja 77 here who says, "Man, does Europe love Bailey? Amazing. She just connects with people. Oh man,
thing behind that, that's a better way to build her to being the champion.
I mean, we just got a great cash in at WrestleMania. I wouldn't say that's a bad concept. I just think that they
After
used it.
that reign, though. No, and coming up to that, it was people were like, "This is the worst
But I
champion
mean-
everybody ever had."
But I think it ended up panning out because it was a good cash in. But I think they've had so many bad cash ins. I can see why people are down on the concept. But it's money in the bank. Like I think she can do good things with it. Like her, like being the first woman to really customize the briefcase and like do something cool with it. I think there's stuff they can do.
Oh my God, they're so gonna do a Barbie briefcase, are they not?
Triple senior money in the bank.
No. I haven't gotten any of them. None of them. If they make a pink one, I will buy it.
Wow. See, they're missing out on some money. They better get that in their production.
For real. For reals. All right, well, we got a couple more super chats, and all of a sudden, everybody wants to talk about Jey Uso and Damian Priest. All right, we got Apex Caliber here who says Damian Priest drops it to Drew at Clash of the Castle, so we get Drew versus Punk. What do you guys think of this?
I don't think that feud needs a belt, but I can see Drew being the next champion.
I like him getting that win at Clash of the Castle, but yeah, I kind of agree on this. I don't think the championship needs to be in that feud because they're already cooking without the championship and building that championship at that same time.
We got Rafael Garcia who says, I think the word you're looking for is uninspired. Yeah, it did. The finish was uninspired. This was literally, like you said, something you could have seen on Monday Night Raw.
Yes, like there's more creative things that you could. They did more creative finishes on the
That's
show. Like what happened?
CM Punk.
Well, here's an interesting one. This is from Jared who says, kind of disagree with you all. The Damian J match and how Damian was present in the entrance and in the match sold for him for me as a champion. Sold him for me as a champion. So he felt that Damian Priest came out of this looking a lot stronger. Do you agree with that?
Not really. I think that the match was fine. I don't think that it was great. I think that
I mean, I thought the match was fine. Didn't really like the
also looked good. Of course, that big transition she did into the Jaded looked. I think the Stardom run was good. I'm now seeing all these people in our chat saying that Triple H was I don't know what that means, guys. Fandom discourse. When somebody has spots in the match or something that don't look good, it's like, oh, well, why do you guys think this person is good? It's like, I don't know, something. And renew his contract.
The magic
Okay.
is her.
There you go. So
All right, bro.
more of a clarification. That's what it is. I don't think it's a shot to me. Well, I haven't heard.
Well,
it
he
I'm thinking
said
it's a clarification.
apparently he said that we're not credible, and that Fightful Select is not credible, and then he tried to clarify and say that his contract was not written.
All right, hold on for a minute.
Versus Bloodline.
All right, so let me go back here.
Was really motivated me to keep going on my channel. Love you, JD. Don't ever change. Shout out to Raging Girl Gamer for the unbelievable show of support here tonight. Thank you very much, Rage. We love you. Thank you for being part of the OTS family. And thank you for your generosity here tonight on the Backlash post show. With the $100 super chat, we had a very, very eventful Backlash pay-per-view tonight from Lyon, France. 5 matches. 5 matches in total. I'm loving the way WWE is keeping these pay-per-views at or around 3 hours. I'm loving the quantity of the matches, sticking to that takeover-esque feel.
Yeah,
Quality over quantity.
exactly.
is the way that I feel it, the way that I love it. It's great. Backlash tonight in France will go down as probably one of the most memorable events that WWE has done all year. The matches, honestly, I didn't really have any overwhelming interest coming into this show based on what we got. We're coming out of WrestleMania. We got a draft that happened legitimately this past week. It wrapped up on Monday. The rosters are going to lock on Monday. The King of the Ring tournament is starting on Monday. We'll bleed into Friday. We got our rosters where they need to be. We got our champions where we need to be. And now we can get the second half of the year for WWE coming out of WrestleMania. There's a lot of limbo coming out of WrestleMania. A lot of people don't understand that when Vince was in charge, the draft usually happened in and around October, with the season premieres in October. That was the terrible way to do it.
Yeah.
Because at that time, WWE had Survivor Series, and their concept under the previous administration was brand versus brand. Now, clearly, that didn't work out, because how could you have brand loyalty if you got drafted from one show to the other and develop brand loyalty in less than a month? So Triple H opted to change that from October and do it after WrestleMania.
Which I agree with.
Which is what we're getting now.
That's the best choice.
The downside to that change, because there is a downside to it. Feuds have to be put off for a little bit. Things feel a little rushed. Things don't feel uber important just yet. And we get the show that we get. With the match card that we got tonight, you get what you get. There's no real heat in anything that's going on. But the Nick Khan agenda, the Nick Khan narrative as of late, is to take the WWE from their home base here in the United States, and let's take the B-level pay-per-views and move them overseas so that they are coming off as genuine attractions. And that's the way we are going to see pay-per-view from this point on. And finally, after so many years of up and down, so many years of just inconsistencies with their pay-per-views, WWE's finally landed on a concept that not only works, but it's creating memorable shows that are absolutely becoming destination events. WWE has the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam here in the United States. WWE takes every other show that they have on the pay-per-view calendar, and we're going overseas. We were in Australia in February for the Elimination Chamber. Tonight we were in France for Backlash. We're going to Glasgow, Scotland for Clash of the Castle. Saudi Arabia is a given for the next 7 years. WWE goes there twice a year. Glasgow for Clash of the Castle, Saudi Arabia for their shows, whether it's Super Showdown or Crown Jewel or whatever they're playing. Money in the Bank is going to be in Toronto, another hot crowd. WWE is lining up these international shows to be something really special. And that's something that Vince McMahon shied away from. Triple H is not shying away from that. Nick Khan is not shying away from that. Why would they? Look at the rabid fan base that was in attendance tonight. I don't know the exact attendance in the arena tonight. It had to be in the vicinity of 12,000 people in the LDLC arena in Lyon, France. Triple H announced today that this was the biggest gate for a stadium show or an arena show of this capacity in WWE history.
Exactly.
12,000 seats.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Yep.
That goes to show you that how badly these fans wanted a show over there. WWE can charge whatever the fuck they want for a ticket, and people will come out and watch. And and they will have a great fucking time. The crowd energy makes the entire show. This is what some promoters don't get. When I watch a weekly television show, I don't want it to feel like I'm watching Joel Osteen on some public access channel where everybody's just listening in silence as someone preaches the fucking gospel. That fucking crook. Nobody wants to see a show like that. It's boring. Wrestling is supposed to be heavy hitting. Wrestling is supposed to be loud music. Wrestling is supposed to be energy. Wrestling is supposed to be fun. Meanwhile, you go into these fucking arenas, you watch a random Wednesday night. Tony. And there's less than 2,000 fucking people there. No energy. No excitement. Lazy. Meanwhile, WWE fills up Backlash with 5 matches. 5 matches. And every match felt like it should have been on a fucking WrestleMania card with the excitement that these fans made them feel like. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles was the main event for this show. There wasn't one single instance where the crowd sat on their ass and just watched in silence. They were chanting, and yes, it did become a little overwhelming and a little, all right, man, enough is enough. Let's pay attention to what these guys are creating in the ring. But there wasn't one moment during that entire 25-minute match where the crowd went silent. They were chanting everything and anything in between. After every 2 count all night, they were singing along and chanting. They made every match feel like the most important thing of the entire night. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, the Kabuki Warriors, Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, Bayley, the Bloodline, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. Everything just felt like it belonged, even though there wasn't that much excitement built on weekly television coming into tonight's show. France will go down as one of the best WWE crowds that I personally, in all my years watching the show, will go down as one of the best WWE crowds ever. And I love the current formula. I love the current format that Nick Khan and Triple H have WWE on, man. Again, like I said in the intro to the show, I don't even want to watch Monday night when they come back to the United States, because we know it's not going to be like it was tonight. We're going to be asking, well, where the fuck is the energy that France brought on Saturday afternoon? But that's what happens when we weekly get this product at the tip of our fingers, in the palm of our hands. This is what happens when we digest the weekly product. Every single week, every single month, we take it for granted. It'll be there next week. These people haven't had a fucking pay-per-view ever. WWE's never in their entire history run a pay-per-view from France. You think these people are hungry for pro wrestling tonight? Really made for a very energetic, very fun, very easy watch over 3 hours. WWE nailed a home run tonight and barely put any effort into putting this card together. The power of the audience. A lot of people don't really get it. The power of the audience changes the entire trajectory of a show. It takes a good show to a great show. It takes a bad show to a good show. So on and so forth. Fucking great. The biggest thing that happened on tonight's show, we didn't get any surprises that a lot of people had predicted. A lot of people predicted we're going to get the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, former MLW World Champion, the longest reigning MLW World Champion of all time. Obviously, he's a part of the Anoa'i family. We did not get Jacob Fatu. A lot of people were expecting him to show up in that tag team match. A lot of people predicted that he might show up. and ruin Jey Uso's chances of winning the World Championship. He did not show up at all tonight. I don't know what they're waiting for, but we will inevitably get the Samoan Werewolf on TV. But we did get Tanga Loa, the brother of Tanga, and he is now in this new bloodline led by Solo Sikoa, and guerrilla warfare is firmly underway. David Deering with a $100 super chat. What a great way to spend a day enjoying a pretty good pay-per-view, I felt overall, followed by a quality review from JD. But I do have a question, he says. No doubt you will talk about this. Do you think we head for a Rock, Solo, Tanga, and Tangaloa versus Roman Uso's Jacob Fatu match? I know, listen, I want Jacob Fatu on the show as well. Don't give me any lip today, okay? Match down the line at War Games. I think we do end up getting War Games. I don't know when we're going to get Jacob Fatu, but I love the fact that we are slowly building towards this bloodline versus bloodline feud. And it's certainly something the company needs, man. Loving it so far. The energy is there with it. I'm excited to see what happens next. That's all we could really ask for. So, David, thank you for the $100 super chat here tonight on the Backlash post show. But we did get Tangaloa. He showed up tonight during that tag team match, and he's the newest member of the Bloodline, attacking Randy Orton and Kevin Owens and helping his boys win another match as the Bloodline continues to grow. We will once again go over what I think is truly happening here. I did talk about it for a little bit on last night's SmackDown post. I do think that Solo is operating on behalf of somebody. I don't think that Solo is operating solely on his own. I do think The Rock is involved with the entire bloodline. And we will talk about that as we have yet another $100 bomb. Oh, my God. Felipe Carvalho with a $100 super chat. My God, Felipe. And says, Jay, if she puts 20% effort, she puts into the gym, into becoming a better wrestler, we would have a legit monster of a superstar for the next 10 years. But as of now, she is just a less charismatic China. Felipe, not only thank you for your generosity, but you, my friend, up until this point, have the comment of the night. Absolutely. I know, listen, I know Jay sucks. You don't have to tell me anything, man. I've been saying it to everybody. Nobody wants to fucking listen. I don't know why she has to wake up as soon as I go live. When she meow, that they've assembled on Monday nights. He obviously does not want the help of J.D. McFish and Finn Balor. Dominic is out with injury. He's going to be out for at least 8 to 12 weeks. Damian Priest does not want any help. And I appreciate that. Which you see where they're going with that. They are clearly, probably, I'd say, leaning into turning Damian Priest into a babyface. So, I know, listen, I don't want Priest as a babyface either, man. I don't care for it. Now shut the fuck up already, okay? Jesus Christ. I'm not into a Damian Priest babyface turn. No. I'm not into Priest as champion, to be quite honest. I'm not even into Jey Uso as a singles wrestler. Love his entrance. Love the energy. Don't really care for them in their current singles roles. We'll talk about that as well right here on the Backlash post. And I want to thank you guys again for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. WWE is imminent on the announcement, this major announcement that they have for WrestleMania. Apparently, it's coming during the Kentucky Derby. Now, the rumor is that WWE will be announcing WrestleMania taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada for WrestleMania. And Gable Steveson from their WWE contract. What a failure Gable Steveson was, huh? You guys remember when he was drafted to Monday Night Raw and never made one single appearance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a waste.
It's official. WWE in Las Vegas. Let's see. Let's go to the old X machine. WWE announced Las Vegas. There you go. WrestleMania 41 will be in Las Vegas April 19 and April 20, 2025 from Allegiant Stadium. Man, do I love that fucking logo, man. Oh, my goodness. That may be one of the best WWE logos that they've had for WrestleMania. I love it. Love it. Viva Las Vegas. Sorry, Minnesota. Sorry, Minnesota. Maybe you should become less boring.
April 19, April 20.
I don't know, man. I'm going to be incredibly tempted to go out to Vegas next year, man. Meet and greet in Vegas. What do you say? Now, Bacardi is more interesting than Jake Cargill? Absolutely, man. I take Bacardi 7 days out of the week over Jake Cargill. Fucking guy. Tuesday. Now get your mind away from what you think that I meant. This fucking guy. Tuesday Night Titans, the Solo Monster, and JP from NY. It's gonna be a great show, man. The new era of TNT will begin on Tuesday. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other. Owens entered first to a huge reaction. Everybody loves KO. He stood in the aisle for a long time. He just soaked up the reaction from the crowd in France. Michael Cole and Corey Graves barely said anything because of the energy that the crowd here was giving Kevin Owens. And then Randy Orton made his way out from Gorilla and walked the aisleway. Fans went ballistic. Fans sang Randy Orton's theme, lyric for lyric, word for word. Now, I'm sure it's happened over his long and illustrious career at some point, but never to this extent. Randy Orton's theme, I don't remember the last time, outside Friday, because it happened on Friday, too, where Randy Orton's theme was sung in unison by an entire arena full of people. Crazy. Everybody loves Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. The Bloodline, they come on out, they get booed, obviously. And we got chants of, we want Roman in France. Like I said last night, Roman's already big. Roman's not even going to be back on television until after the summer. And Roman Reigns is already a babyface in this thing. That's how great everything has gone so far with this new bloodline. So before the match even started, Owens started brawling with Tanga. Orton followed and brawled with Solo Sikoa. This is sheer chaos at this point to start the show. Bell hasn't even rung yet. Fight spilled to the outside. All of a sudden, we get a bunch of officials, a bunch of security guards. They run out there to try and separate these two teams to try and get this match underway in an orderly fashion. Owens is starting to hand out stunners to all the security guards, and Nick Aldis has seen enough. As soon as Owens put his hands on the security guards, Nick Aldis came out there with a microphone and started blasting everybody. So Nick Aldis, you guys want to fight? You guys want to just go all out? I'll give you guys this one time favor. I'm making this into a street fight. Have at it. No rules, no DQ, no count out, no disqualifications, nothing. And this is exactly what we needed based on what we got leading into this match where it's just been chaos. And this blood feud between these two teams, the Bloodline now obviously slowly assembling into whatever they're turning into. Kevin Owens has had a long history with Roman Reigns, the Bloodline. Now he's got a history with this new Bloodline. Randy Orton never got closure with what he has against the Bloodline. They put him out for 18 months. I don't want to see fucking quick tags. I don't want to see double team continuity. I don't want to see fucking scientific pro wrestling here, man. So making this into a street fight, it was probably the best thing for this match and the best way to start the show. And everybody fucking popped big for this. All through the crowd, Bloodline was finally sent back to the ring. They were in and out of the crowd. Fans were eating this shit up. Owens gave Tanga a splash off the barricade. Orton stood on the barricade as he would do 1-2, but simply stepped down and posed for the crowd. They chanted for Orton as he gave Tanga a back suplex onto the announce table. Owens then gave Solo a DDT on the ringside steps. Orton then took Tanga and bashed him in the head with a trash can lid. Owens did the same to Solo. There were chants of ECW in France. ECW, no matter where you are, man, gets the love from all the pro wrestling crowds. Owens and Orton used kendo sticks. They grabbed a table from underneath the ring because France wanted, we want tables. Delighting the crowd, everybody popped and the table came out. Owens put Tanga through a table with a frog splash off the apron. Nice move there by KO. So after about 10 minutes into this thing, Bloodline finally got some offense. Solo cut Orton off, put him through a table with a drop. Owens tried going after Solo, but he dropped Owens with a clothesline. Tanga then hit Owens with a kendo stick, and the crowd started chanting asshole at him. Gotta love France. Asshole sounds the same in all languages. Gotta love it. Bloodline ganged up on Owens. He tackled Tanga, but Solo hit him with a trash can. Heyman looked on. Heyman's body language and Heyman's facial expressions. Jay Cargill could learn a thing or two from watching Paul Heyman's facial expressions. He's not even an active in-ring performer. Paul Heyman's facial expressions were fucking key throughout this evening as it pertains to this storyline. So he's looking on concerned as the Bloodline's beating up Kevin Owens because he doesn't agree with what's going on here. You see it written all over his face. The Bloodline grabbed the table, but Owens fought back and drove Solo through the table. Tanga knocked him down with a clothesline. Orton got back. Jimmy and Jey Uso. 2. And all of a sudden, we see someone on the outside. I'm like, who is it? Who is it? It wasn't Jacob Fatu. It was Tanga Loa. Tanga Loa yanked the referee out of the ring. And Tanga Loa hit Orton and Owens in the face with the steel steps. Solo at this point, thanks to the interference from Tanga Loa, gave Owens a Uranage onto the chair and then hit the Samoan spike for the 1-2-3. So we have a new Bloodline member. Not only do we have a new Bloodline member, we got Tanga's brother, Tanga Loa, in the Bloodline now. Not only do we have Tanga's brother in the Bloodline, now we have Gorillas of Destiny in WWE. And that G.O.D. versus Usos tag team match is going to cook this summer, man. A dream match that people talked about happening or wanting to have happen at some point is finally going to take place this year in WWE. I love it. It's not Jacob Fatu, but I'm pretty confident in Mike Johnson's report that Jacob Fatu is signed, sealed, and delivered. We don't know where Jacob Fatu is going to fit into this. We don't know where he's going to play into the new bloodline or the old bloodline. We don't know. I've seen some people saying, well, Maybe Jacob Fatu is the muscle for Roman Reigns. Maybe Jacob Fatu teams with Jimmy and Jey Uso. I don't know. I mean, that's a possibility. I don't know why Jacob Fatu would be a good guy or babyface. I see him more as a heel. I see him more as a destroyer than anything. I don't know. I don't know. We may honestly be setting up for Jacob Fatu joining Jimmy and Jey Uso. That's the next story. How is Jimmy going to try and convince Jey to battle alongside him because of what is happening internally within the family? That's the next story. When Jimmy comes back, I don't know. But I'm very interested to see how WWE gets Jey from Raw to come over to SmackDown and get once again involved in family drama. It's at that point that we could probably maybe see Jacob Fatu join their team and join their side to even things out. Solo and then the Guerrillas of Destiny against the Usos and Jacob Fatu. That could be a possibility. I wasn't really thinking of that because I was thinking more along the lines of Jacob Fatu joining the Bloodline and Solo Sikoa. I don't know where Roman Reigns fits into all this. Roman's going to be out for quite some time. And like I said on Friday night, I don't think that Solo is acting on his own. I don't. I think Solo is being told to go out there and do what he needs to do. And I genuinely think that he's being told by the final boss. I do. Now, again, it's just a prediction. I'm not telling you that's what it's going to be. But the things that I mentioned last night, I'm going to reiterate again to you guys here tonight. I just don't see, after Paul Heyman inadvertently blurted out last night on SmackDown that he hasn't spoken to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania. Nick Aldis was very confused by this. He asked again, "What did you just tell me?" So who pulled Roman Reigns out of the WWE draft? Roman Reigns didn't pull out of the WWE draft on his own. Nobody's heard from him since WrestleMania. Paul Heyman says that he did it because he didn't want Roman to know, see, or be involved with what is going on, the chaos that is going on with Solo Sikoa and this new bloodline. So who is Paul Heyman acting on behalf of? Is it Solo? I don't think it's Solo. Why would it be Solo? Solo acting on Solo's behalf sounds a little boring. Own image. And I'm appointing a new tribal chief. Now, the only logic gap there is Roman not watching the show because, I mean, Roman could clearly call Paul Heyman and see what the fuck is going on. Seriously. Even Paul Heyman's body language tells you that he doesn't want to be there. His facial reactions, now he walked by Jey Uso later in the night. We're going to talk about this now instead of waiting until talking about the Damian Priest-Jey Uso match. There was a moment where Jey Uso was preparing for his match. In walks Solo Sikoa, in walks Tanga, and then you see Tanga. They all walk by Jey Uso and they all look at him with a hard stare. And then in walks Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's facial expressions. You guys looked at the facial expressions. Look at it again. You might have missed it the first time. To me, Paul Heyman's facial expressions read, "Please help me. Please get me out of this." As he walked by, genuinely concerned about what is going on. That's another aspect of the story that is going to be told over time. Not only Jim Uso. Oh, how are they going to get back together? Paul Heyman is going to be an integral part of this story as well. Roman Reigns, how is he going to get on the Usos' good side? He basically exiled all of them at one point or another. Which side is Paul Heyman going to be on? Is he going to be on the final boss's side? Is he going to obey the new tribal chief, or is he going to stick with his old tribal chief? Who is the real tribal chief? Roman Reigns. I genuinely think that The Rock is pulling the strings, which is eventually going to lead to Rock versus Cody at SummerSlam, and then with the Vegas announcement, WWE clearly wants to do Rock versus Roman in Las Vegas instead of Rock versus Roman in Minneapolis. It just has a better feel to it. Minneapolis, I'm sure they'll get a WrestleMania, but they're not going to get Roman versus Rock. Las Vegas is going to get Roman versus Rock. The setting, the feel, the vibe, the city, the atmosphere, that is perfect for Roman versus Rock. And then that'll end the long game. Roman Reigns overcoming the final boss, ascending to the throne of the Anoa'i family, and becoming the biggest babyface in WWE. The babyface that Vince dreamed of and failed to produce. That's the story. Several different layers. I love it. And yeah, it's about the Anoa'i family, and yeah, they're going to take precedence over everything, and yeah, it feels a little bit more important than what Cody Rhodes is doing right now. I get it. They're on the same brand. But anything by that standard, no matter who the champion is, Cody, everything's going to fall to second priority for that. Do I like it? No, I don't. But when you're including The Rock and Roman Reigns, I don't see how anything, no matter who the champion is, how anything is going to take precedent over that. When this is legitimately the final stand for WWE to get this match done before The Rock actually retires. I'm loving everything that's going on here. Everybody was genuinely surprised by Tanga, and we all expected Jacob Fatu, but I don't hate this. They threw us a curveball. The WWE is keeping this thing very interesting. After the match, Heyman kneeled by Owens' fallen body and asked the bloodline to stop. The damage has already been done. I would say that the 40 minutes of this was probably one of the best opens to a pay-per-view that WWE's had in several years. They opened night 2 with a bang. This was a bang. This will go down as an all-timer. This match was great. Very, very intrigued throughout the match. Street fight changed the entire perception of the match. The introduction of Tanga Loa. WWE hit a fucking home run with this thing. Loved everybody. Triple threat match. Bayley. She defended the WWE Women's Championship against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. What, about 14 minutes or so? And again, just like I said in the outset of this video, of this stream, I didn't really care about much of anything coming into this. I cared about the bloodline stuff because I'm heavily invested. But outside that, something like this did not have any heat to it. And a lot of that has to do with WWE had the draft, they put their pieces together, they assembled their rosters, and now hopefully we can get some solid story with a lot of these characters. Bayley was kind of floating around in the middle of nowhere. She's been dabbling a little bit with Naomi. She's been dabbling a little bit with Tiffany Stratton. So they basically took these two aspects and fused them together, and they thought best would be a triple threat match. Now we got Nia Jax moving over to Friday nights, and I would assume that Nia Jax is going to be a top contender for the Women's Championship. Now, I'm not particularly interested in Nia Jax versus Bayley for the Women's Championship, but I could absolutely see Nia Jax winning the Queen of the Ring tournament for the ladies. Just to throw that out there. Don't kill the messenger when you see Nia Jax in the finals of the tournament.
Holy shit, I hope not.
This was a fun match. Tiffany Stratton is an absolute savage.
Exactly.
Dave Meltzer actually tweeted out, and I think probably more people agree with him than not, He said Tiffany Stratton, at this stage of her career, has the makings of becoming probably the best female superstar in all of the United States, maybe ever. I don't think he's too far off from that, but that's a very, very hot comment. Is she going to be labeled as the greatest ever to ever do it? When all is said and done, she certainly has the potential to do so, but she's got some stiff competition. She's got Becky, she's got Charlotte, she's got Sasha, she's got Bayley.
Yeah.
Is she going to be more influential than any of those women? I don't think so. But the one thing that Tiffany Stratton has, outside of a Charlotte, or outside of a Becky, is I feel like she has more charisma than both of those women. Or Bayley, even. She just gets it. And the thing with Tiffany Stratton is she's got the gimmick, she's got the entire persona down, and she does not skimp on the in-ring aspect at all. You may look at her, and she may be exactly what Vince had modeled for a top female superstar in the old administration. Blonde, busty, beautiful, and you would expect her to be half of the pro wrestler that she is now. But she goes in there, and Tiffany busts her ass. She wrestles like one of the guys. She bumps around. She fucking knows what she's doing. She moves fluidly in the ring. And the great thing is she's still learning, and there's so much more room for improvement. She just gets it.
Exactly.
I don't think I've seen one bad Tiffany Stratton match since she won the NXT Championship. I think she's been great. She's probably one of the best products to come out of the Performance Center in many, many, many years. She hasn't even been doing this that long, man. She's been doing it. Stratton's in there, and she wants to basically win the Women's Championship because she's owned both of these ladies for the last couple of weeks. Triple threat match, actually very good as well. The crowd was big time into this. So Naomi and Bayley, they got huge reactions from the fans. Crowd was singing along to Bayley's theme song, which is awful. There were some Tiffy time chants as well. The crowd chanted something in French, and Bayley clapped along. Now, I don't really understand why we here in the United States have not adopted the idea that France brought to the table. It's almost... Naomi hugged Bayley after the match. They raised each other's hands, and they showed their sign of respect for still being around. Damian Priest. He defended the World Heavyweight Championship against Jey Uso. This is the third match of the night. I've seen a couple people complaining about the match order here. I thought the match order was perfect. I really did. With seeing how hot this crowd was, it really probably didn't matter where this match fell, but you didn't want two championship matches going on back to back. WWE opened the show perfect with Bloodline versus KO and Randy Orton. Then they bled into the triple threat women's match with Bayley, Tiffany, and Naomi. Then we get the men's match, Damian Priest versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then the Tag Team Championships, Jade and Bianca botching up the entire joint against the Kabuki Warriors. And then we got Cody and AJ Styles. I thought the match order was perfect.
Yeah, me too.
Damian Priest and Jey Uso go on third. World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso got the entrance first, as the challenger usually does. And normally, Jey Uso's entrance is one of the highlights for any show that he's on. The energy is just unlike any other entrance in the company. The visual of everybody raising their hands up in the air and bouncing up and down with Jey Uso to the theme music is fantastic. But my God, man, did France take it to a whole nother level. It was a sight to behold. I can't even imagine what it felt like being in the arena, seeing everybody jump up and down to Jey Uso's theme music. Now, I don't really understand why we here in the United States have not adopted the idea that France brought to the table. It's almost as if us Americans are fucking stupid and we don't really have a brain to think. Meanwhile, the people over in France, in the arena, they all took out their cell phones and they had their flashlights on, and 12,000 people in unison bouncing up and down with their fucking flashlights on their phone lit in the arena really made it a spectacle that I've never seen before, ever. Unbelievable. It was like a live fucking rave at a wrestling show. That's what we need to see, man. This is what takes WWE to a completely different level. WWE is just on a whole nother level. Comes to what he does in the ring. He's not bad, it's just boring. I'd much rather see the Usos in a tag team than both of them wrestle singles. That's just the way that I feel. Some of you may disagree. I don't like what they've done with Jay. The entrance and his theme is the best thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, but the single, not that much really. Now I get why they gave him singles one, because they wanted to have that one-on-one match, and while the match wasn't that good, and the build was pretty lackluster, so with that it, like, okay, Jey Uso getting this title match with Damian Priest, Jimmy Uso was taken out by Solo. And after what we saw with Jay in the Bloodline back days, it clearly setting up. Jay gonna feel bad. He'll feel sympathy for a brother. He may want to get his brother back, and feud with the Bloodline.
The best part of his act, I don't care for him as a singles performer. I don't. I never cared for Jim as a singles performer. And his theme music and his energy is not the same as Jay does. But man, oh man, United States, you gotta waken the fuck up. Seriously. I don't know why we haven't adopted this flashlight gimmick with Jey Uso. Maybe come Monday Night Raw, we'll get Jey Uso in the fans here showing him some love with the fucking flashlights. Ridiculous. Absolutely one of the most energetic entrances that I've maybe ever seen. And he came through the crowd. He's bouncing up and down with everybody. It was just fucking beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Damian Priest comes out. He's got new theme music. A couple of weeks into his new theme. All rise! And he sings his own theme. Not a fan. Not a fan. The bell rings, and Jay used his yeet pose to control the crowd. It almost felt like Bryan Danielson manipulating everybody to do yes. He's over there raising his hands up. Yeet. He's getting everybody to yeet with him. And everybody's eating out of the palm of his hand. Match started. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when Bryan Danielson ripped off the jumpsuit inside the cage with Bray Wyatt, Providence, Rhode Island, Monday Night Raw, which is still one of my most favorite Monday Night Raw moments in the history of Monday Night Raw. When Bryan was there, he shed the jumpsuit, he slowly put his hands in the air, and everybody's doing yes in unison at the same time. Never seen anything like that before. That's what this reminded me of. Love it. He made everybody yeet. All corners of the arena yeet. From left to right. Up and down. He made everybody yeet. Priest took control early. He drove Jay into the turnbuckle. Jay fought back with some strikes, a big super kick, which there were a lot of. Runner Uso match without a super kick. Uppercut, Enziguri, flying crossbody. Referee went to go check on Priest. All of a sudden, JD McDouble. He ran out. He showed up and used the middle rope to crouch Uso, which did not look good for Uso. It looked like it fucking sucked. His eggs were definitely scrambled there, more scrambled than normal. Priest, he followed over to spear for a 2 count. So Priest gets up. He's looking over at JD. Not me. I wasn't there. I'm here. He's looking over at McFish. He's asking, what are you doing out here? Then he asked McCafe to go away. I never asked you to be out here. I don't like my coffee black, bro. I like my McCafe coffee cream and sugar. Please, light and sweet. Yelling at him. Tells this guy to go away. So Jay knocked both of them down. He kicks JD McRib in the face with a super kick. Jay followed with an Uso splash on Damian Priest for a 2 count because he knocked Priest down with a super kick as well. He goes up top. The Uso splash gets a 2 count. The one thing I listen, man, I may be the only one that sees this shit. The Uso splash has gotten worse as the months gone on. The Uso splash is not like it used to be. So when Jay does it and he goes up top, it looks so sloppy in both execution and then delivery. To nail it beautifully. Now when he goes up top, his legs and knees hit first, and then the rest of his body comes down on top of his opponent. I don't know why it looks so shitty nowadays. Did it always look that bad? Maybe it's just me. So after the Uso splash, 2 count. They exchange strikes through the crowd. He jumps the barricade. Jay super kicked him immediately off the apron. Priest did not see him, so he didn't get angry at Balor like he did JD McDouble. Jay then hits a spear. He goes up top, hits another Uso splash. This was for the win, but JD McFlurry, he was on the outside. He popped back up. Just in time, placed Damian Priest's foot on the bottom rope to break the cover. Crowd started chanting asshole at JD McFish. Jay wiped out Mr. JD with a suicide dive.
Hey, what's going on here?
Balor on the outside of the ring. Jay went back up top. Priest knocked him down. Crossed the turnbuckle. Hits the South of Heaven choke slam off the second rope for the 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest retains the World's Heavyweight Championship. Balor and McDonough after the match put the boots to Jey Uso, and Priest got upset. He threw both Balor and McDonough off of Jey Uso, telling them that was enough. The damage is already done. They walked out with the mission accomplished. He still has the World Heavyweight Championship. Priest got in Balor's face, but McDonough got in between them. Priest told them, stand where I tell you. And
We all
put
got
their hands
problems.
in the air and posed.
You got a problem with the bloodline. I got a problem with my job.
So the story is that McDonough and Balor came down to help. Priest didn't ask them to. They came down on their own. And this is where the discrepancy between the Judgment Day members is going to lead to a split of the Judgment Day. Again, I don't really care for Jey Uso as a singles performer. You may think differently. I don't. He's not terrible. Please don't mix up my words. Jay, the story that Jay tells in the ring is not, to me anyway, engaging or interesting. It's the same shit all the time. 1,000 super kicks, a spear, an Uso splash that looks sloppy, and it is what it is. The best thing about Jay is his entrance and his theme and the energy that he elicits on his way out to the ring. That's Jey Uso. And I understand France probably wanted a new champion tonight. The crowd would have fucking melted if Jey Uso won the championship. It would have been a great moment. I know there are people that wanted Jay to win tonight just because of the crowd reaction. But the World Championship right now, honestly, is not in a place where it's going to be on Priest for long, or it would be better off on Jey Uso. The World Championship, in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to Jey Uso, is going to be not the top priority. The priority here for Jey Uso is the storytelling. That's where Jey Uso thrives. Not the in-ring aspect, but the story, the emotion that he and his family provide to us. The story that Jey Uso will inevitably tell, reconciling with his brother Jimmy, is far greater than him winning the World Championship. So him winning the World Championship would obviously not really do much for Raw, and it would be a downgrade for what he really needs to be doing. That's just my feeling on that. Now, shifting gears to Damian Priest, I think Priest is great. Watching Damian Priest grow from what he was when we saw him as the Archer of Infamy in NXT, to joining the main roster, and joining and starting Judgment Day, where it got off to a rocky start to where we see Judgment Day now. It's a beautiful thing to see. Him winning the World Championship at WrestleMania was a great start to WrestleMania on Sunday night, too. I don't really see Drew McIntyre holding the championship for that much longer. Because I do feel, with what we're seeing right now, Damian Priest not asking help, JD McDonough out there taking business into his own hands, Finn Balor out there taking business into his own hands, Rhea Ripley not there to keep everybody in line. Damian Priest is going to have someone fuck up for him, and then that's when the split of Judgment Day is going to happen. Who the recipient of that is, I don't know. It may be who wins the King of the Ring. But the story right now on Monday Night Raw is a good one. I'm more interested in the story with Jey and his family, and the story that Damian Priest is inevitably going to tell with Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough. The split of Judgment Day to me is more interesting than Damian Priest holding the World Championship and defending that World Championship. I don't feel any emotion with Damian Priest as champion. I don't. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. Not to say he's bad, but this right now is a role that he is in because we need to get everything lined up for Drew McIntyre to take that championship. That's the next world champion. We're not having a fucking show in Glasgow without him walking out as the world champion. Sorry. Whether that happens just on its own or with him winning the King of the Ring, I don't know. But this match was fine. It wasn't a banger by any stretch. And the match was enhanced because of the crowd. The crowd made this match a good match in an otherwise bad environment. That's my take on the match. They made it so much better off than it really was. We're going to get into the last two matches here. The women's tag team title match followed Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill against Kairi Sane and Asuka. The best deal on them. First purchase. You guys have to eliminate all.
All right, here we go. This is a good mic word commentary. Bloodline expanding. Cody retains.
Hate touching athletes with. He's ultimate ultra no touch. Yours with 1 week treatment.
Alright, come on.
Welcome to Big T. Big T.
In here as well. Glad y'all are in here. Derby is so boring. Yeah, I'm not a Kentucky Derby fan. However, my sister was conceived at the Kentucky Derby in a Winnebago way back in 19.
WrestleMania 41 to Las Vegas.
She was conceived in a Winnebago. My dad would always, when we lived in Michigan, would drive with his friends and do road trips every year down to Kentucky Derby.
It's the amazing crowd moment. The Triple H wearing glasses. WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, April 19 to 20. So it's like in the middle of April on the 25th, Allegiant Stadium. WrestleMania coming to Las Vegas. When's the last time it was in Las Vegas? I can't remember. Cody is a flop. So Cody Rhodes talked about LA Knight in the press conference. Don't tell me you're gonna face LA Knight. I don't want to see that. But that doesn't make any sense. That was 48 minutes.
Hold Cody over. Not going to be someone that can believably never was born. But he can give Cody a great match. And he can believably give Cody at the very least.
1-0. I hope WWE gets.
Solomon.
And 3% give the show a thumbs down. 3%, huh? That's not bad. Top rope. Basically an avalanche Cody cutter. He connects with the Cody cutter on the way down. A super Cody cutter. Cody hooks the head, center of the ring. All it takes, one crossroads. He covers AJ, and he gets 3 counts to retain the title. An excellent, nearly 30-minute long main event here between these two men. A great first title defense for Cody Rhodes. AJ made him work for it. They played it straight with the finish. It was a clean win for Cody. There were no surprises after the match. There was no bloodline. There was no Uncle Howdy. There was no shenanigans. There was nothing. Cody just beat him straight up. I don't think we're done yet between these two because Cody just does not have any other obvious challengers that are set up. So you've got King and Queen of the Ring coming up in a few weeks in Saudi Arabia. Can't imagine Cody is not going to be defending his title on that show. A rematch with AJ with some stipulation attached to it would make sense. And I think that's what we're going to get. Overall, this is a fun 3 hours for what I think I can safely say was the hottest, liveliest crowd for a WWE show that I have ever seen in my entire life. I was racking my brain trying to figure it. And Backlash in Puerto Rico last year had a great crowd, but this one topped that one. Because for every single match on this show, not just for 1 or 2, or just for the hometown guy, if there was a big homecoming for someone, from the start of this show to the very end, even going back to SmackDown last night, these people were up, they were loud. Yeah, some of the chants, the things they were singing, you could get obnoxious because they just would not stop. But I'll take that over a dead crowd of people sitting on their hands in apathy any day of the week. Any day of the week. It just makes the show so much more fun to watch. So, hats off. I don't wear one, but hats off to this crowd. They were fucking off.
Alright, well. See that.
And she's reaching on the. What I think, though. Yeah, we're heading into Clash of the Castle. Well, we're heading into King and Queen of the Ring first. Then we're heading into Clash of the Castle next month. They're going to be in Glasgow. Drew McIntyre on the top of his game. Yes, indeed. Yes, he is. One of the best right now in all of WWE is Drew McIntyre. Just signed a fat new contract. Drew McIntyre is going to headline Clash of the Castle. And I think he will headline for the World Heavyweight title, which could be why I think he may win King of the Ring. If the winner of the King of the Ring gets a world title match on their respective brand or the title of their choice, I think it's going to be Drew getting that shot at Clash of the Castle. So I'm looking ahead and seeing Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight title. Priest now is already teasing a potential babyface turn. By the time we get there, now that show is not until June 15th. By the time we get there, it could be that things have broken down so much within the Judgment Day that Finn Balor, if not Balor and McDonough, are the ones who ultimately cost Damian Priest the World Heavyweight title. That is how Drew ends up becoming champion. Get the World Heavyweight title on Drew. When CM Punk is ready to come back, you could have Punk and Drew on Raw for the World Heavyweight title. That's where I see things headed right now. Now, we'll see how the story plays out in the weeks to come. The way things are looking right now, I think that's the direction right now. I just don't see how you go into a show like Clash at the Castle in Scotland and not have Drew McIntyre in the title match of the main event. I don't see how you don't do that. So that has to be the match. And if that's the match, yeah, I mean, you could always have Punk cost Drew again. Then you're just kind of repeating what already happened at WrestleMania. I think it would make more sense to put the belt on Drew. And if Punk is cleared in time, you could have a big World Heavyweight title match at SummerSlam between those two. Doesn't mean that Punk has to win either, by the way. Yeah, by the time we get to it, I don't think Punk and Drew is going to be a one and done type of situation. So that could be the first of several matches between those two for the World Heavyweight title. Of course, this is all predicated on CM Punk not falling apart and being able to stay healthy, which is a big if, considering the last 2 or 3 years in his injury history. He's got to stay healthy first. You put him into a World Heavyweight title program right away, you're taking a risk. It is a risky proposition, but man, that's the biggest match they could do right now on Monday Night Raw. Is McIntyre or Punk. Now, at this point in the show, they had the member from the French.
Enough with the commercials.
Jiffy Lube, we call
God damn these damn commercials. Come on.
Do that, I could look at Drake Maverick and tell that he's not black, so I don't know what that whole thing is about. These two guys are going at it too, and now Hulk Hogan and Rikishi are.
Her shoulders. Sadie tagged in and saved her partner. Belair fought them off.
Only 12 minutes. Wow. Well, probably should just end the video here. Think I made it long enough. Just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Probably should one over here. I actually didn't get to see the end of their video. I'll make this real quick. She did.
In place on April 19th, as well as April 20th, which is
They're
no
trying to kill me.
420
Oh, they want me to die, Denise. What is this? Why are they having a show on 420? What is this?
in Las Vegas, bro.
Oh my
A
god, they want
420 show in Las Vegas.
You guys, my dreams have come true. 420 wrestling show. All my friends are going to be there, and I'm going to be the highest I've ever been in my life.
This is the best
Suck it,
scenario.
Minnesota.
This is the best scenario for you. You're probably not planning on going to WrestleMania anyway. So you're probably going to be like somewhere like smoking. Like this is the best scenario for you.
Bravo, Reg.
Come on, you
Yeah.
guys. You know my friend Phil knows me. That's exactly what
Come on, you guys.
Come on, you guys. I'm so high somewhere. Suck it, Minnesota.
Married, and I was like, yeah, I'm married. And then they asked me like where I was from, and I said, oh, I'm from Los Angeles. And their follow-up question was, oh, since you're from Los Angeles, are you married to a man or to a woman? I'm not kidding you. That's what they said, and I was like,
there are no lesbians anywhere in Minnesota.
Yeah, right. That's out there.
Tiger homie red. Nuts, man. Freaking nuts. I love it. All right, we got some more super chats in here, and this one is from RJA, who says it's also Easter weekend. Oh, for WrestleMania.
So it's gonna be resurrected too.
I got it. An Easter egg hunt. I'll be real with you. I'm not gonna say
Football team and baseball team.
Osprey. Little quote.
Hold on a second.
So crazy for him. He's like, dude, I'm trying to be a heel. You guys stop. Leave me alone. I'm trying to be a bad guy. They were just like, we love AJ Styles so much. We don't care. But I thought this was a great way for Cody to show, I'm out here to work, you guys. Y'all talk about hooping. I'm out here to hoop. I thought that top row Cody cutter was really sick. He did a lot of really good Cody cutters. A lot of good counters in this. AJ Styles is one of the best ever. And on defense and on offense, you just can't get better. Great way for Cody to start with the crowd being so into him, the near falls, the crazy burning hammer. Only one crossroads to finish him. Thought this was a great way.
Yeah, they delivered. Honestly, I feel like there's not much more to say other than that was a really good matchup there. But here's the thing, guys. We have some, I guess, sort of breaking news. It's official. WrestleMania 41 has officially been announced for Las Vegas and gets taking place on April 19th, as well as April 20th, which is
They're
no
trying to kill me.
420.
Oh, they want me to.
All right.
Oh, but hey, you can throw in Willa.
Yeah, I think I'll just end the video here.
Get Dragon out.
Really kind of handcuffed them and restricted them on how they could file charges in this particular case. But when you read the report, you can make.
See, if I would have done that last night, it all would have worked out.
Armbar on Jade Cargill, and Jade laid there without any struggle in the armbar. Not one single ounce of. She laid there.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the video right here. Until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I'll see y'all later. Until next time. This is Jacob Cast 2024.